Ron Burgundy does it to warm up his voice. So I do.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Commercially Speaking. I'm Timmy Barron, ADHD.
And I'm Bo Barron, CCIM.
And this is the Commercial Real Estate Podcast to talk about investing and everything commercial. Bo, we've got a return guest today.
That's right.
Someone who was with us before, talked about the future, and now they're back in the future to talk more about their future. It's very exciting.
I just had a Doc Brown flashback, all that future. I thought you were going to throw him back to the future.
Oh, dang. I missed an opportunity there. Well, that's improv for you. The opportunity will come again.
But Daynon Kirby is back
Yeah, baby.
with us.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Our first returning live guest.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
Okay.
We hadn't had a ton of live guests, but you're the first one to
return.
make it back into the studio.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's an honor.
You weren't awful last time, so we're having you back.
That's right. That's
And
right.
as we get started, we do have a gift for you, and I have to say,
Oh boy.
and just for our future guests to know, you show up in person, you get a gift,
That's right.
right? But when I tell Siri to text Daynon Kirby, it says it does not have a listing for Dana and Kirby. And I'm like, no, Daynon Kirby. It cannot, I can't say it in a way. So this is for Dana and Kirby.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Can I open it now?
Yeah, open it up. And you came with gifts too, so we have these cool new pins. Very nice. And
Nice, dude.
Look at that.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Thank you.
you're welcome.
This is nice.
Little red notebook cover.
I like it. Okay.
That looks good. Looks good with you.
Ready to take notes.
Yeah.
That's right, except we have the pins, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Bo handmade that himself.
Yes.
Yeah. He handmade mine too. Yep.
Old State leather. Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
What's the story with the cigar on the dog?
Well, a bulldog is the Marine Corps mascot. So when I was getting into leather work and all these guys on YouTube, they have their maker's mark, and I'm like, I need a mark. So what should it be? And so I was thinking, it could be Marine Corps related or, commercial real estate related or whatever. So I went with the bulldog, and I like smoking cigars. So it's a bulldog smoking a cigar.
I like
And
that.
Old State leather I live on Old State Road.
Okay.
So I just sort of like the way that sounded and
That's right.
whatever. But
And that's made of leather.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, and it says by hand too, to be specific.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Stitched by hand.
Handmade.
Yeah, he stitches.
This is nice, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, Daynon, last time you came on, I actually just noticed this the other day. I knew you were coming. Last time we talked, and again, we don't have to talk too much about the past. Let's move over to the future. But we did talk about, I learned something about family video. It was family video, right? The family videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reno chain.
And I learned something interesting about it that I forget exactly what it was about the family videos that was so interesting. But anyway, tell us about with the pens and the gifts that you got us. On here it says the Black Foundation.
Yeah.
Say more.
Yeah, absolutely. So Black Foundation, we're a commercial real estate investment focused 501c3 private foundation. So we focus on providing career pathways to minorities and veterans into commercial real estate, while also
nice.
expanding affordable and attainable housing.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, normal as most nonprofits, grants, scholarships, education, networking, giving, etc. A couple things that make us unique. Number one, we have an investments arm as well. So as you know, most nonprofits need money, right? So why not take a step back and become the bank? So doing our own commercial real estate deals, crypto, private equity, and venture capital as well too. So really leveraging the business activities inside of the organization to continue to power us forward. And, I think a big lesson I learned at my previous employer was to be, fully integrated and not dependent on anybody else. Because when you do that, then you're coming from a position of strength, and now you can really execute your mission to the fullest. So that was really a concept of starting everything is like, one, how do I leverage commercial real estate in order to empower that next generation of leaders.
Right.
And then at the same time, how do we not be like everybody else where you're always just have your hands out needing more money every year. So really being dependent on donors and grants and everything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But when you look at the reason why I started a private foundation for my family and then the longevity of it and being around, right? Like that's the best way to do it. So,
That's right.
yeah. And then, when you think of us, think of education and investments is really the best way to look at it. And education is something that I've found as I've gotten older is that's really where the power's at. And I mean, this in commercial real estate, Bo, is you have the knowledge, you can get it done. Right. And, as far as our education offerings go, really, it depends on where you're at. I would say in life, in your career cycle, but at the end of it, it's always the focus is a career in commercial real estate. So whether that's a broker, an investor, a developer, a property manager, asset manager, whatever that looks like, it's always going to be the focus is so as an example, let's say they're, more middle school, high school. It's like, okay, that's more career day representation, mindset, manifestation, and thinking bigger. And then, juniors and seniors, it's like, hey, when you turn 18, you can get your real estate license. And here's how. So it's like we have that support for them. And then as we get into college, that's more of your traditional, panels, Q&A, workshops, et cetera. And we'd already been doing that before I even started the Black Foundation. So it was more of just taking everything that we're doing and packaging that into an actual product.
Yeah.
And furthermore, as we continue to get older, we do have adult education offerings as well. So, it could be someone who is just interested in commercial real estate, or it could be somebody that's already existing practitioner in commercial real estate. And then we have avenues and pathways to get them involved with CCIM, help them get career placement and really give them all the tools that they need to be successful. And a lot of what we do really just trying to model it after, my journey and path is, to go back as a reminder for the fans out there, started commercial real estate in June of 2020. Coming from my background, real estate was really never a thing or an option. It was really more about just, grateful and lucky was afforded that opportunity. And then, really just took it and ran from there. So got involved with CCIM, got my PIN pretty quick. I got that in 2023, really learned more about really broadened my eyes to the power of commercial real estate.
Sure.
The benefit of being able to break the cycle of poverty, build wealth, and leave a family legacy. So just learning all that and taking everything that I learned, working for my previous employer and being able, like I said, to just really package that all together. So there's the philanthropic element. Obviously you have to make money as well too, right? And it started out as a joke for us, but really it's off my board, it's people and profits. Because if we don't have profits, we can't help the people.
Sure.
So it's like, how do we empower everybody to be successful? And then how at the same time do we continue to make money internally? And then obviously we'll work with outside partners and everything like that to further the mission. But it's really about how do we have something that's self-sustained internally, where then we can go out and we're a want and a need-based organization. One of the biggest lessons I've ever learned in my life is from my grandfather, and he was always willing to help somebody that was helping themselves.
Yeah.
So for us as an organization, we're a hand up, not a handout. We're here to create, enhance, and connect. And then, as far as that goes, we're a want and a need-based organization. So, right now we're in Tennessee. You hear it first. We're going to be going to Arizona later this next year.
Breaking news again on Commercially Speaking. Breaking news. You're hearing it here first. Wow.
Cue the music.
Oh, that's the wrong song.
The Jamaican horn.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so, being a want and need-based organization and really just taking what we're doing in Nashville and other markets in Tennessee and then replicating that and going to other areas, because we know that there is a huge need out there. But what I really want to talk about is the power of commercial real estate, and getting into it really opened my eyes to the fact that commercial real estate drives our life, right? Like when you look at where retailers go versus where residential home builders go. And then you look at, once again, being a practitioner in commercial real estate, the freedom it gives you to be an entrepreneur, that freedom to control your paycheck. Or if, you want to be more on the salary side, you can be an asset manager, a property manager. There's just a lot more diversity in the opportunities into commercial real estate, because typically people think, what do you think when you think a career in commercial real estate?
Well, I always thought brokerage.
What do you think when you think career in commercial real estate?
I always thought that's where my dad goes to work, right?
What was dad? What was his job?
He was a broker.
There you go.
Right, he was a broker and an investor, right? But like in general though, like you think of the bad guy in the movies, right? You also think of
Evil rich white guy.
evil rich older white guy. That's I think that's a lot of people that aren't into it or in the world at all or don't know much, and that I think you're asking me personally, but I think in general, I think that's what a lot of people see.
Yeah, right. Like they see that image, and then also too, they just see brokerage as the only opportunity. And look, brokerage is important, right? Like we need people to do deals, but at the same time, you could be a developer, you could be an investor, you could be a property manager. Heck, I mean, if we really want to go down to it, it's like you could get into 1031 solutions, right? Like you can do that. There's just a lot more that you can do in commercial.
You can be a model, right? Like look at this good looks. And commercial real estate, amazing. Yeah.
I love it.
This thumbnail's going to be killer.
Access, knowledge, and opportunity is really what we focus on at the Black Foundation. And like I said, it's just as simple as bringing awareness to it. So for me, same thing where if you were to go back in time and tell me that we'd be sitting here doing this right now, I'd tell you you're crazy.
Well, will you give us like a recap of where you came from?
Yeah.
'Cause if I remember correctly, you were in a military family, so you traveled around a lot. Is that correct?
Yeah. I was born on an Army post in Panama. Got done, moved up to Ann Arbor, Michigan. My father, when he got out, he got his MBA at University of Michigan. So go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Go big blue.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Go Big Blue.
So yeah, got done there, moved out to Phoenix. I played college soccer, so I ended up back out in the Midwest.
That's right.
Yeah. And then when I got done with school, that's when I started working for Family Video. And then so the story goes, here we fast forward now. So
Yes.
yeah. But like I said, just being given the opportunity to get into it. And then once I got into it and started doing real estate, I was like, oh, okay. So this is where all the moves are made.
Yeah. Because what did you think before you got into it and stuff? Like, what was your thought of commercial real estate? Or was it even a thought?
It was barely a thought. And then the times I would think about it, I was just like looking like, wow, those guys make a lot of money.
Right.
And none of them look like me.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's like, okay. But then I just...
You mean like the hairline or what?
Yeah, just none of them.
No bald guys in commercial real estate.
Why is that? But yeah, man, it's like I said, just really grateful for the opportunity. I just found that once, your eyes start to open, you can't close them. And all my life, I've wanted to give back to my community. I've just never had a platform to do it.
Sure.
And getting into commercial real estate, seeing the power of it, seeing that there are a lot of people out there that are talented, motivated, and driven. They just need to access the knowledge and the opportunity. So really, that's what we're here to do, is to bring all the parties together that have traditionally been disconnected by design, right? But we all know that it's 2026. Train left the station a long time ago. It's really time for that next generation of leaders to come into commercial real estate.
Let's
That's what we're here to help with.
I love it. Let's I mean, this is what I think this episode is for, those people, right? Those that you want to reach, right? Awareness and education, right? So let's do it for those high schoolers, college age, those whoever it is, students that are sitting there that they would have found this episode by searching commercial real estate. So maybe they're a little bit looking at it or whatever, right?
And to your point, when you talk about people searching for it, that's another thing about us as well, is that really we're built as an inbound machine, right? So anybody that wants to, essentially, we'll say, rise to the challenge, really walk the path and put the work in, we're willing to help them. Because what we don't do is we don't go out and just generally speak to everybody like, hey, here's commercial real estate, et cetera. It's more of business focus, and then as we continue to drill it down, it's people that are interested in commercial real estate, or furthermore, people that are actually practicing in commercial real estate. So it's really just taking everybody that is either right on the cusp or already in it, showing that they're motivated and they're driven and that they're willing to put the work in, give them those opportunities, and then giving them the resources to be successful as well. Because I find that a lot of programs out here, they'll throw the money at them and they can say, okay, go get after it, but they don't give them any guidance, or they give them guidance and then they give them half guidance. Or when they get to the end of the road, it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? And they're like, hey, good job. You got it done. See ya.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like, how do you give everybody that is qualified and talented? How do you give them all of the resources they need, beginning, middle, and end, to be successful? And then when they get to the end, what do they do?
Sure. Yeah. So say I am somebody and I'm listening to this episode right now and I'm like, oh man, I would love to get involved with the Black Foundation. What are the steps I go through? Like, walk me through what this looks like.
Yeah, I mean, first things first is 3 things. One, do you understand us, our values, and who we are and what we're doing? 2, do you believe in it? And then 3, how do you want to help and how do you want to get involved? And, I think it's a
Well,
simple.
hold on. Are you asking as somebody who wants to get in commercial real estate?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
how
asking
can I-
as somebody.
Or okay. Yeah.
Oh, but we'll get to that too.
Okay.
Like anybody who wants to be a part of the investor side of it, I guess you'd call it, right?
Getting involved in commercial real estate is as simple as educating yourself. So
Let's educate some people right now.
educate some people right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the question is do you want to make your own hours?
Mhm.
Do you want to help a lot of people?
Yeah.
Do you want to make a lot of money?
Mm-hmm.
So those would be the 3 things to look at. But really, once again, it's about education.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
do you believe or think that anybody is well suited for making your own hours, et cetera, kind of what you just laid out?
No.
Okay.
Mhm.
I would agree with you because, and we might have framed it this way on a previous episode, but I remember when I was, I think I just got out of the Marine Corps, came back, I'm working with Dad, and I find some of his old strategic coach tapes. So I'm listening to Dan Sullivan, the guy who founded Strategic Coach, which I'm involved in now. And he framed it this way. He said there's 2 economies. There's the time and effort economy, right? So these are the folks that they get paid for showing up and doing the work, their time and their effort. And then there's the results economy, where it doesn't really matter if you work 10 hours or 80 hours in a week. If you're not producing results, you're not making money,
Right.
right? And so people belong, I think, in one or the other. For instance, my wife would die on the vine in the results economy.
Okay.
Like, she values security over income potential and freedom. So, and she always on time. She does great work. She wants the stability of a paycheck. Well, you put me in that economy and I die on the vine. Like, that drives me nuts. Like, I want to know that nothing can hold me back.
Yeah. The opposite economy.
Now, I might fail. All right.
Yeah.
I understand the risk there, but
you're
I
still a
don't.
juicy grape.
But I don't understand
But
the reference.
well, you die on the vine,
Oh,
right? You might
yes.
fail, but you're still a juicy grape.
I got you
right?
now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting smashed by feet and being
Yes,
made
yes,
into
yes,
wine,
yes,
but
yes.
someone's gonna pop you in their mouth and chew you.
And so one of
This, oh boy. I love it. I absolutely love it.
So one of the things I've done with my kids is I've tried to help them try to figure out which one of those they belong in.
Yeah,
It's not always very clear, especially, when you're a teenager. But, I do believe there are people who will die on the vine with a regular job and a W-2 kind of paycheck.
Yeah.
And for those people, regardless of whether they have access, education, and opportunity yet, like, for them to try to transition over into the results economy where they can flourish, they might fail, but they have the ability to create the future they want. And that's where they need to go. And a lot of people get stuck over here because they're told in high school, hey, you better make good grades so you can go to college and get a degree so that you can have a stable job and provide for your family. And that's not a great path for everybody.
No.
In
Here's
fact,
one thing though about commercial real estate, Bo, to your point, when we look at results versus what did you call it?
the time and effort.
Time and effort. Yeah, I was gonna
Not
call it
my
something-
framing.
Yeah,
by
I
the
was
way,
going to
but
call
yeah.
it something different. But my point is that, like you were saying, Bo, is when we look at results versus time and effort, the good thing about commercial real estate is that there is plenty of room for time and effort, folks.
There is.
Right. So it's like when we talk about property managers, or we can even look, like there's certain companies where you can go and be a deal maker and you've got a base and, your commission's adjusted. Right. But it's like if you're looking for a blend of security and deal making, that's there too.
Yeah, that exists.
So I think traditionally, though, back to it is that commercial real estate's been a results focused industry.
Yeah.
And I just think that as time evolves and, technology and just everything we're doing in society now is that, there's a need for both.
Yeah.
And some, honestly, for like what we see out there is that model starting to shift more towards the time and the effort because more and more folks want to feel more secure.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So,
The one thing I've learned a lot from people from this podcast is when they get into commercial real estate, you don't get that, you don't see that paycheck for a while. And so it's really, especially in brokerage, right? It's really helpful to have somebody take you under their wing, right? And either pay you a little bit until you get on your feet or you start getting those deals coming in and whatnot. And so I know it can be hard for so many people to, if they don't have that in already, to find it and get it. So what kind of advice would both of you, what kind of advice would you give of somebody who wants to, like, what would be the first step if I'm interested in commercial real estate? Let's say I'm in my 20s. I'm going to go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT about it, right? Get that advice. I'll go to YouTube. I'll probably subscribe to Commercially Speaking, and wouldn't be able to put it down.
Good advice.
Yeah, good advice.
Best place to start.
Yeah, that's right. This episode here, specifically. But from you all, where's the first place you go to if you're not connected to commercial real estate whatsoever in your life?
Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah, start for us.
Well, for most of us, and we've asked this question for a lot of our guests, most of us get in the business because of relationships, right?
Right.
The premise of your question is, if you don't have that, what do you do?
That's right. And so many people also fell into commercial real estate accidentally because they were in real estate or banking or some job, and they met a broker that was making a lot of money.
Sure.
Right, or investor, and they're like, how do I do that? Anyway.
Man, so I think, and a lot of people ask me like, where should they start kind of thing. The idea of getting on a team as opposed to just starting from scratch on your own. To join a team is a much, I think, more sustainable way to enter the business. Because if, you can go and talk some broker into hiring you and you're completely on your own, sink or swim all by yourself. And now you better have enough of a financial runway to make it to your first and your second paycheck, because that can take months.
That's right.
Easily. We had Rafael Cleazzo.
That's right.
And, his first 2 years were, he didn't make much money.
That's right.
Just enough to make it. And then it was year 3 or year 4 for him where things hit. So year 3 for me when things hit. And so that's hard to make it through. If you join a team, the team you should join is one that is collaborative, wants to see you succeed, and is doing a lot of transactions. Like, you want reps. One, you need the reps for the educational purposes to learn how these things go. I remember the first couple of deals I did with Dad, like, we got to the closing process. Like, we were under contract and now we had to get it to the closing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? Now we're dealing with attorneys and title companies and appraisers and surveyors and all this stuff. I'm like, how does all of this fit together to get to a closing? It was just complete chaos from where I sat. So I needed the reps to just understand how things worked. And I'm learning the whole time. And then, if you have a lot of transactional reps, even if you're the low man on the totem pole on some team, you're getting the education, but you're getting just a small piece of those deals, likely. So you're probably not making a lot of money, but you have some kind of regular, sustainable cash flow that can keep you in the business.
And reps.
You need those reps. And so if you want to take a complete bet on yourself and just go it alone without the team, you can do that, and people do that. It's just harder.
What does that look like? Would that be the difference of becoming a broker at SVN versus Barron Commercial, a boutique like this? You know what I mean? Is that
not necessarily?
Is that
you
what
can
that means?
find teams anywhere, Yeah.
But
if somebody were to come into our company here, where you essentially have me and 2 others, right?
Top producer Todd Humphreys.
That's right. We don't really. In some respects, we collaborate on every deal that comes through the office. Like Todd and I, and Matt as well, like, we have conversations and we lean on each other, but we don't operate as an official team.
Yeah.
So like Todd's doing his deals and I'll assist him because I want to see him succeed. And when he succeeds, the company succeeds, which means that helps me. So we're all aligned in some way,
Sure.
but we're not an official team.
Right.
So if somebody walked in here, they might not, I mean, we'd almost have to create a team or somebody would have to agree, hey, we're going to work all these together.
Yeah.
Some firms have official teams. They do all their deals together. And to walk into a place like that, you need to give them some reason to bring you on. Because initially, you're a time and effort drain. If you know nothing, and I have to start by just teaching you stuff, everything I put into you is a time drain.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully I'm going to get that back in spades when you get spun up and stuff.
An investment. Yeah. Hopefully it turns into an investment.
Right.
Yeah.
That the team's going to get a return. But if you can walk in and say, look, you guys are doing a lot of deals. You're clearly respected in the industry. I'd love to learn how to do brokerage or property management or whatever the scenario is. I'd love to be a part of this team. And here's what I can offer as something that you're going to get out of this from the jump. Now, that might be something like social media marketing, or like I'm good at video and I can give your team a tool that you don't have right now.
Sure.
You need to walk in with some kind of, hey, look, I've analyzed how you market things and I think there's potentially a better way that can help you drive even more business. I can do that for you. And I'd love to be on this team. And here's what I can offer you that's going to make you more successful on the day that I start.
Yeah.
So that I'm not just a time drain on you while you're investing in me, waiting for it to pay off.
Right.
I can bring something to the table right away.
That's right. And I think this younger generation, one of the, especially in commercial real estate, that lags behind when it comes technology wise, except right now with AI, it's crazy. But like this younger generation, don't overlook the fact that you know how to use AI so easily because
Oh yeah.
you're there like that. That would be an incredible thing to walk into. And
Look,
be like,
for a lot of these places, you could walk in and say, look, you may or may not be averse with all this AI stuff, but I'm really good at it. And I know just one of the things that brokers tend to hate to do is just writing the copy for their OMs. Just all that wording, and all the OMs sound the same. They're all boring. All of them are, people don't believe them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
let me give you an
Pro
example.
forma you see on an OM.
Yeah. Let me give you an example of how it could look, and then be able to demonstrate how you can use AI to create something better, maybe on the spot in front of them.
Yeah.
It's like, I can bring this to your team
Yeah.
if you teach me commercial real estate.
Yeah. That's right.
And, walk in with something more than just, I want a job.
Right.
I want you
right,
to teach me,
Yeah.
That's what I would say. If I were 22 and didn't have any kind of relational connections to commercial real estate, but wanted to get into the business, I'd be looking for things I can bring to the table that a great team doesn't have.
Yeah.
So to further what Bo said, and I think that that's a really good answer, and the reason why is because we talk about value and providing value. So to keep it simple, when a young person, no relationship, they want to get involved, one would be you need to start educating yourself. So sure, ChatGPT can work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you load it up the right way, definitely your Grok or whatever you're using, Claude. That was actually a really funny Super Bowl commercial. Do you remember that one?
No, which one was it?
So it was one where someone had asked a very specific question, and then I might get this a little wrong, but basically they asked a specific question, AI was answering it, and then AI kind of like parlayed it into an ad within AI.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like a big thing right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my point of all that is one, you start educating. Two, you do need to do your market research. So you're going to want to look for firms that are doing a lot of deals, because the reality is when you first get into commercial real estate, you're going to need a lot of training. You're going to need a lot of guidance and mentorship. Furthermore, if you're really looking for a shortcut, just go to findaccim.com.
Oh,
Find a local CCIM.
yeah.
And we've got a really big push now for the next generation of commercial real estate leaders. So for people that show up and say, hey, You know, I've been educating myself. I'm motivated and driven. I took a look at your company and I see that there is an opportunity to increase XYZ.
Yeah.
So they're showing up with somewhat of a value prop. Oh yeah, they're going to at least have a conversation. One thing I learned the other week, I was at a summit, and I was, you know, encouraging our next generation of leaders and students. And a woman there made a comment about how to get coffee or get a high up person in society to respond to you. And she said simply, use your student email to contact them. So just go find your student email,
Yeah.
send them an email. You say, hey, Bo, I found you on findaccim.com. I took a look at your firm. You know, really love the work y'all are doing. I'm really interested. They've got their story. And then they say, hey, I saw that your OMs don't look very good. I think I might be able to help you there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe don't frame it that way.
Or maybe do. That'd get your attention.
Maybe.
There
You
you
know,
go.
Depends on who you're
I
talking
probably would say,
Bo wouldn't like that at first, but he'd think about you for about 3-4 days and be like,
that kid.
that kid.
But I heard on Commercially Speaking that most brokers just hate the creation process of OMs. And there's a better way, and I'd love to show it to you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That's,
that way I'm not saying you guys suck at this.
yeah.
I can help you. You know.
Yeah.
It's always about framing.
You do a lot of deals despite this crap you put out in the market. It's unbelievable the skill set you must do to overcome your massive deficiencies in marketing.
Yo,
And
what are they teaching you at the CCIM?
Yeah.
To make deals? Like,
So let's talk about CCIM for a minute. And I say that because being new in the industry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You said findaccim.com.
Findaccim.com.
And that will show you all the firms that are CCIM, that have CCIMs.
You can look up the people that have
You
the
go straight to
designation.
the people.
And so again, I just want to overly clarify for everybody outside of this world. That means that there's a good chance they know what they're doing and they're really good at it, right? Because
to get the designation, you have to pass a certain amount of courses. So the education part, like when you see somebody with those letters after the name, they have been through the best education in the industry.
Yeah.
So that speaks to their credibility in the industry as being somebody who's skilled and educated.
Yeah.
The other thing you have to do to earn the designation is a certain amount of deals, like 10 or 20 or $30 million worth of transactions. So they've had the reps.
Right.
So it's not just a fat baby
Yeah.
that has consumed a bunch of information, but it's never taken any action and done anything with it.
Yeah. It's good clarification.
It's somebody that they have the reps.
Right.
The other thing about findaccim.com,
Yeah.
and this is to all my friends who are CCIMs out there, if they don't have their picture uploaded, or if it's black and white and looks like it's 40 years old,
Yeah.
there's a good chance they're not very active. They might have earned it back in the day,
Yeah.
but there's a big indicator on that website is, do they have a recent photo?
Oh, yeah.
Is their profile updated? Do they say that they're an expert in everything? Or do they actually have an expertise in a handful of things?
Right.
'Cause
Right.
the implication there is if you're an expert in everything, like if you check all the little boxes when you're filling out,
Master of none.
you're an expert in nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So just because you've done a couple multifamily deals doesn't mean you're an expert in multifamily.
That's right. Any actors listening, that same thing goes for your resume. Just because you know how to juggle 3 balls for 20 seconds, don't put juggler. You know, there might be actors that listen to this because me, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can juggle 3 balls for 20 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds.
You could put that on your resume as a CCI.
But I am not a
thing.
juggler for sure.
But I think like digging into the weeds right there is really good. Especially for if we're talking to people that are interested in going in and don't really know. Because my first question is like, how do I know if a brokerage is doing a lot of deals?
And that's something because you made the comment, do your market research.
Right.
Let's get granular in that. Like, what would you do if you're not connected, you just know you're interested, and I want to find out which companies are doing the deals? Like, what would you do to figure that out?
What would I do? I would go to Chat GPT and start having a conversation.
And what would that conversation be?
That conversation, you would need to get a good prompt.
Yeah.
So, tell her who you are and what you're looking to do. I mean, if you really want to go, since we're getting granular, I mean, go in there and have it, scan the CCIM website for all the information you can. You can go in and tell it, as the scenario, I'm interested in getting into commercial real estate. I want to find out who the top brokerages are in commercial real estate in this MSA, right? Get very, very specific. And I find for me, getting into chat is the more specific you are after you've prompted it and it's learning you, the better the answers are going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you go in there and just start hammering it down and just keep typing and keep asking questions. It's going to be able to tell you at least what's available out there. If you want to get into the next level, which it's not going to really count, but you can go into CoStar. There's certain ways to find this information.
Yeah.
CoStar is what's the best way to explain CoStar?
It's like the
They're a
Zillow
big
commercial.
data
They do everything. I
aggregator.
don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, they're kind of like a national commercial MLS. It's kind of their LoopNet arm, and they've got all the data, or they work on getting all the data. Or they certainly do not have all the data.
They're doing a lot better.
Have more data than anybody else.
Correct. Yeah. They have
Except
data,
maybe
we talk like
lease.
property data, for sale, for lease,
Who owns
number of
what.
who owns what, transactions.
They got a lot of
market
analysis.
research. Yep, a lot of that. But to back up to your original question, it would just be getting on the internet, using Chat GPT, and then that's going to at least start giving you a guide.
Yeah.
And look, also too, it's like, you can go in and start looking at the business journal in your area and looking for the commercial real estate section and see who's making moves in your town.
Yeah.
So it's really about just using all the resources and your access to technology to make it happen. Yeah.
If we go if you are seeing this commercial real estate person sign all over, that's a pretty good indication as well that they do a lot of deals.
That would be a data point.
That would be a data point. Yeah.
Like to take it analog, to
Yeah, take it
actually
analog.
drive the market and see, man, who's got the signs up?
Yeah.
Who's got the signs up? That's basically what you would see if you do a drive. Now, there are a lot of brokers that are great at winning business and not so great at fulfilling business. So they've been hired, but that doesn't always mean they're doing the deals.
Right.
But it's a good data point. It's a good indicator.
But they more like Canvas, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Canvassing.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what would excite me the most. Like when we talked to Beth Azor about canvassing, I was like, oh, that'd be.
Oh, you'd crush that.
I'd crush at that.
Yeah.
But like when it gets to like following through on the whole deal, I'd be like,
Hand that off.
yeah, hand that off, right?
Yeah. And that's why Todd and I have worked so well together for so many years. Is because we have different strengths when it comes to that broker continuum of finding, winning, and fulfilling business.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
All right. Okay. I interrupted you when we were about to go. Let's talk about CCIM.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, I guess the first question is do you think we are granular enough on where we start?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look, Google search, Chat GPT, get a list of who the firms are. Like, that would be step one. I would drive the market. Pay attention. Like, as you're moving around your town at this point, just keep your eyes open and start to notice who's got the signs up.
Yeah.
And then, I'd jump on the LoopNet, see who's got the listings.
Yeah.
Because all listings don't have their signs out,
Right.
right? Sometimes signs aren't appropriate.
Yeah.
And then just start having conversations.
And I would
start
go-
calling them.
Not only that, I would go to I would take it a step further. I would go to their website.
Yep.
Right. So I see them all. I go to their website, look at the bio of the people there, learn about them, right? As well as how is their website anyway, right? What if their website is bad? That might be something I can offer.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a.
Well, let me take that a step further.
Okay, great.
We had Michael
This is fun.
Hieronymus on
Yes.
recently, and he got me into looking at Claude Cowork. Have you familiar with Cowork? Cowork is It's phenomenal. It's actually agentic AI. So you can create agents like ChatGPT. It'll have a conversation with you, but you're engaged the whole time.
Yep.
Claude Cowork, you tell it to go do something, it goes and does that thing.
Oh yeah, I heard.
So for instance, you could say, all right, I need you to spin me up an agent. You're on Claude Cowork at this point.
Yeah.
You need a paid plan, not the free plan, but it doesn't matter what paid plan. It can be the one that's $17 or $20 a month or whatever. You go in there and say, spin me up an agent that research. I want you to build me a list of every commercial real estate firm. If you're talking brokerage, commercial real estate firm, if it's property management or development, just ask it for that specifically. Research all of those things. Then I want you to create me another agent that's going to analyze all their websites for holes. Like if you consider best practices in marketing, grade these out with areas of concern that they could upgrade, and then create another agent that is, maybe it's an expert in Donald Miller's story brand marketing framework, and then create me a fourth agent that's just quality control, is going to manage these other agents and iterate with them to continue to level up the outputs. And then when you've got a report on all the companies and an analysis of their websites, submit it to me, and then it goes to work.
Yep.
And then you go to work and do something else, and it'll notify you when it's done, and you can see about its work and start to iterate with it. But it's literally created 4 different agents to do these 4 different tasks and actually work amongst themselves to iterate, and you're off, doing whatever it is you're doing.
That's right. Picking grapes.
Picking grapes.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Juicy grapes.
Yeah, picking juicy grapes.
And look, if somebody came in here and said, hey, look, it's clear you're a top firm in the market, and I'm interested in commercial real estate, and I'm interested in you guys, but I'm not walking in here empty-handed. I've done an analysis of your website, and if you're open to it, here are some things that might help you level up your marketing and drive more business. And I'd be happy to share that with you, whether you're interested in me or not.
Yeah.
That would get my attention, as opposed to somebody saying, hey, do you mind if we go to lunch so I can pick your brain?
Yeah.
It's like,
You got to show some value.
Yeah.
Got to show some value. And I think that when you show up with, this just goes for anything, but especially in these situations, when you show up with pure intentions, and to Bo's point is, someone showing up and saying, hey, whether you want to give me a shot or not, at least here's some value for you. So I think that that's something that's becoming more lost in society now, is everybody's always expecting something in return.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, if you could just show up with those pure intentions, you've got value to provide, and sure, you would like to have something in return, but if you're willing to just leave that and walk away, that says a lot. As a business owner and somebody that's going to have to pour into this person, that's huge.
Right.
Because then you're already seeing a lot of them already. And look, at the end of the day, too, when we talk about like bringing somebody in, the interview process never ends. So, and also it starts way in the beginning. It starts from that first time you see them. So it's like, okay, I got a guy or a gal that shows up. They're interested. They've shown me some value, and they're willing to just give me the value for free. Okay, maybe I do want to talk to this person.
Yeah.
And then off you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I think what's cool about commercial real estate is there's just so many avenues to get into commercial real estate. And it is something where we talk about career/lifestyle is, the people that are in it and they like it and they excel at it, like that's where they can be. And then when you look at the power of commercial real estate, it becomes a family thing. And then now you've really just honed in like, okay, we are a commercial real estate focused family. All of a sudden you're building your portfolio, you're building your brokerage, you have all these assets, and now, you're creating investor funds, like you're doing a lot more. So really having that solid foundation to then build from, get into commercial real estate, have that success, and really just make it a family thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that 100%, there's power in that.
Yeah. So with the Black Foundation, bringing it back to that, you mentioned, I don't know if we're ready to move on, but I wanted private equity, crypto, and so there is the investment side of it, right? As well as the education side of it, right?
Yep.
So if I heard you right, it's pretty much many different levels of people in their commercial real estate career that can use you as an asset, or the Black Foundation.
Correct.
As, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if I'm curious about the crypto stuff, like what does that look like?
Crypto,
And
let's put
is that connected to commercial real estate in this area or no?
yeah, I mean, you can say that. I think with crypto, that is more of that next step, that next level. So commercial real estate is one of the safest foundations you can build for income, making money, and security. So then when you go, okay, how do we increase velocity and the acceleration to close the wealth gap? It's going to be crypto. It's very risky. Very risky.
Yeah.
Very risky. I'll say it again.
Okay.
But if you educate yourself, you align with the right projects, you're working with the right, right team, the right AI, and really have a solid strategy to do it, you can mitigate some of that risk, and then there's going to be more upside for you. The reality is for us with the Black Foundation and crypto, that's more of hold, you build a strategic reserve, and then at the same time, you can use that to enter into other projects that then put back into a commercial real estate project. So really having crypto is just that, I don't want to say thing, but in order to continue to be successful in the monetary and the investment world, I mean, you have to diversify a little bit into crypto.
Oh, sure. So diversifying your investments.
Correct.
A little bit into, a little bit into
Yep. So just I won't call it riding the wave, but I mean, crypto's here. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
It's not what this episode's about, but I'm a firm believer in crypto.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what is that going to look like in 5 years?
Right.
Because AI is completely changing crypto.
In a upward fashion, does it look? Or
Upward fashion is a relative term. So here's something that's going on right now. So people talk about there's going to be some whiplash here in a few years, and that's because now they're using AI bots to scan everyone's crypto wallets for transactions that haven't paid taxes. So here in the future, that's all going to catch up. So then that's going to create a whole new bottleneck and a whole new set of legislation. Right. And I'm not a crypto expert. Disclaimer, no crypto advice here.
yes,
From my research.
Right.
So
And I know nothing about it, so there's definitely not any advice coming from me. So.
I don't either. That's why I'm curious. It's just interesting.
that being said is yes, crypto is always going to be around. It's just going to look different than it looks right now. And when I say that, meaning more stable coins, more access to education for crypto. And to go back to the very beginning, so this all makes sense, whenever somebody comes to us and says that they're interested in crypto, the first thing that we tell them to do is to go educate yourself, because you need to understand how the blockchain works. You need to understand how hot and cold wallets work. You need to understand how short swing trading, long trading, scalping, like you need to understand how these new projects work, how the Solana chain operates. Like there's just a lot that you need to understand in all the concepts.
Yeah.
And then if you can make it through that, and then you're still interested in gambling your money, 'cause that's what it is right now, then you could get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most importantly is just understanding the mechanics and how crypto works.
Yeah, that's I haven't even heard this about like the regulation and like the taxes catching up with you with crypto. That's very interesting.
And it's really interesting how crypto started as, the anti-establishment and, darks, anonymous, like all that, right? And then now we've made that big shift and swing back the other way.
Yeah.
That's just how society works. Because it just is what it is.
Yeah. Bo likes the smell of cash. So he likes to feel it and touch it. I don't know if that's true.
Don't like the idea of a wallet that isn't leather.
You could get a
Hot, cold wallets, like I don't...
my wallet.
This is hot right now because it's been in my back pocket.
That's right.
Make it cold there, set it there for 20 minutes. Is that hot and cold wallet? All right, we can move on from crypto.
How does the young professional or the kid in high school that's interested in commercial real estate that needs that
support,
that needs the Black Foundation to come alongside of them, like how do they get involved?
How do they get involved? Very simple.
How do they find you?
Yeah, just go to theblackfoundationinc.com. You can go to Google and just type in the Black Foundation. It's the first thing that pops up. And then just go on there and just submit an inquiry. and then we'll get in touch.
Like beyond that, though, is there, because that almost sounds like we're wrapping this episode up.
Yeah, we're not
Like,
even
where can they find? But what is, like, where are they going to find you out in town kind of thing? Like, what are you involved in that they could show up to where they can just get a feel for who you guys are?
Yeah, we're a platinum sponsor and a proud partner of CRE 615. It's a local networking organization in Nashville. Shout out to Alexa and her team at CRE 615. They just launched in Austin, Texas as well. But what they do is they focus on anybody that's new to industry. So it could be age new, could be career new, could be new to town, etc. So I would say is, you just come out and you can go and find the events that we're going to be at or sponsoring, and then just come out and see what that crowd's like. We really do focus on diversity. So meaning, diversity of age, diversity of level, right? Like there's a lot of C-suite people, there's a lot of young people, and really it's an inclusive atmosphere. And she does a really good job of that. So to answer your question is, coming out, getting involved in events that we're involved with.
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
And you might have thought of this already. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But let's say I'm getting out of the Marine Corps and it's 2004 and I don't have a daddy in the business like I did, but I'm interested.
Daddy.
Father.
That's that.
Faja.
And just showing up to an event like that. I go to CRE 615. I find out where the event's going to be, and just showing up's a little intimidating.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, would it be possible, or are you guys already doing it, where you say, "Hey, look, send us a message. All right, we're going to meet ahead of it. Those of you that are here for the first time or whatever." We'll meet about a half hour before. We'll get acquainted. We'll be able to introduce you to some folks, and you kind of guide them. Like I remember the last couple CCM forums, the first-time visitors either have a different colored lanyard or whatever, so we can tell who they are, and we can make sure that they're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there that kind of, hey, look, we're going to welcome you. We're going to put our arms around you, and we're going to help you get connected here. You're not just on your own. Is there...
From a guidance and a mentorship standpoint, you're 100% correct. So we do have those options where if somebody is interested going to an event, they're unsure, they're not sure what to say, right? And that's most of the time is when people just don't know what to say.
They said that first step is so hard and intimidating,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're giving them the guidance and the tools that they need. And it's very as simple as, once again, it's always devil's in the details, and it's always about prep. So learning about the event, so CRE 615, learning about potentially who's going to be there, what's the theme, where is it located, and then further beyond that is, okay, so now when I get into this situation and I'm talking to folks, what do I say? How do I position myself? How do I show up and at least have some type of value to add? Because you got to think, for being a C-level person, business owner, et cetera, subject matter expert, you have people showing up all the time asking for your help. So it's like, how do you make yourself different? And that's something that we talk about too, is just you have to find a way to be different. And even if that's just, you want to be known as wearing a hat all the time, or, you want to be known as the Michigan guy or whatever it is, right? Just being different, because that's at least disarms somebody, it piques their interest, then you can have that conversation. Then you can really start to open them up with the right questions in order to get to know them, so then they can know you, they can trust you, and then to potentially take you under their wing. So did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I if we did get a little bit granular there too, because we've talked about this before, and going to networking events and how no matter what level you're on, it's just like, I got to go talk to people. And so many people will go and they'll talk about how awesome they are, accomplishments that they've done. They're trying to be impressive. They're wanting to, it could end up being an energy suck when someone's just talking about themselves and trying to, peacock. Walking into those, we've talked about this before, like I said, a good frame of mind, walking into anything, especially if it's for the first time, is going in curious and going to see what you can learn about other people. Going in and asking about them, and don't say a word about yourself unless it's asked, right? And then all of a sudden, like, that's a huge differentiator.
Oh, yeah.
When curious about other people and go talk to them, and you could wear a silly hat, right? And that'll be even more. You didn't say silly hat, but you know,
Cool hat. Cool hat.
yeah, a cool hat. I immediately thought of like, ooh, like a just some kind of.
That could work.
Yeah, it's going to differentiate yourself. But if you're curious as well, woo,
Yep.
let's get that silly hat guy on the team. You know,
Where'd that tiara go?
where's Fedora at?
Yeah.
We got to get Fedora on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right, Timmy. And yeah, it's about, once again, back to showing up with pure intentions. You're focusing on them,
Yeah.
because the more you're asking, the more you're learning, and then you can figure out, you're listening for clues, and it's like, okay, how can I add value to this conversation?
That's right.
Or what can happen? And I think that that's another common misconception about networking is really, if you're showing up to pour in and add value to other people, it's naturally going to come back to you tenfold. And when you do that, you're just going to have a lot more opportunities.
Yeah.
And then for somebody that's new into the industry too, it's like you only get one opportunity to create your image
Yeah.
and be known as who you are. So do you want to be known as that guy or gal that just shows up and is just going on and on and on and on and talking about how great they are, talking about what they had for breakfast or whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it somebody that is genuinely curious? Somebody, once again, that is genuine. Somebody here that is looking to add value.
That's right. Let me paste this scenario. Okay. Say I've done, I know how to use Claude or Co-work or whatever. I'm going to this event, right? That you all partnered with CRE 615. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
I see this event. I'm a young blood, and that's what they say, right? Yeah, young blood.
Sure.
Yeah. I heard that on a song. Or a young gun.
No, young blood.
Young blood. I'm a young blood, and I'm walking in, and
Keep going on.
okay, so because this can go a couple different ways. Again, I got to show that I can give value, right? And that you can cross the line by talking about how valuable you are to somebody who might not need the value that you're giving, right? So you can go in and you just start talking about yourself and what you know and all this. But when you flip it to where you are curious and you're learning about other people and you're viewing it as, again, another place to do research, you're learning about other people and you speak up when you know or you can see where you can help rather than just word vomiting what you're able to do to people who might, not need it at all, right? It's good to talk and ask and learn.
Yeah, and a good way to potentially frame that might be, look, a lot of the research that I've done on the industry has indicated that one of the issues that most firms deal with is this.
Yeah.
Like, do you find that's the case for your firm?
Oh, that's great. That's great.
You're doing a couple things. One, I'm interested in the industry enough to do some research.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're not talking about how great of a researcher you are or how smart you are or anything like that.
That's right.
You're just saying, like, this is what I've read. So that just infers that you're interested and you're putting some work in.
Mm.
Okay, I'm going to pick up on that if you're approaching me with that. And then I've learned this. Is that the case for you? Now I'm interested in you. To your point,
Yeah.
it's that
Yeah.
curiosity thing. And man, that kind of question would elicit a response from me that would be meaningful. Like I'd actually be, it's a great question.
Right.
This is kind of what, like that would spur on a conversation.
Yeah.
Without saying, look at me, look at me, look at me.
That's right.
Now you're demonstrating a little bit of your, new expertise in the industry.
Right.
And saying, look, is this real? Is what I'm real? Is that real life for
Yeah.
you in your firm? Like, man, that'd be interesting.
That's good. I love it. I love again, it's just those few little things that if you know walking into it, it's like, I know what I'm going to ask. I know how I'm going to frame that question to get those conversations started. It's way less intimidating. It would be for me, way less intimidating showing up and just being like, okay, I got to improv through this thing. That's scary. That's
Well,
scary.
it goes back to prep, right? And when you
Yes, right.
prepare, it's because you care.
That's right. Yeah.
And having that level of care, it always shows, especially when you're talking to high level people where they've got the experience, they've been around the block, they've seen it. They've had plenty of people come talk to them at networking events.
That's right.
And everything like that. Yeah,
That's
for
right.
sure.
Look, I'm about to go to a conference in a couple weeks in Dallas, and I've never been to this conference before, and I'm going to know a few people there, but I'm basically going to be an unknown, and I'm nervous about it.
Mm.
Like, it is an uncomfortable place for me. I go to these CCM forums, and I'm an instructor and kind of well known and know a lot of people. Like, I'm going there to see my friends, you know, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and there's no anxiety there. But you put me in a group of people, any group of people that I don't know well, and my stress level spikes. It's not me at my best. You know, I'm not naturally great in those environments. And so, man, I get nervous about it. So if that's you, just, and you're normal, you know, like, don't let that hold you back either. But,
Yeah.
you know,
That's good.
I'm not immune to any of this stuff.
That's
you
good
know.
to know too. Yeah. Everybody else is freaking out in their own little way in that room. Everybody. Like, just, it's always there, and everybody's got it, and everybody's focused on the thing that they're, right? The moment someone engages you with a question that's interesting and it snaps you out of the focusing on whatever insecurities you have, like, that's a gift that you can give to somebody by having a good framed question.
Yep.
Like what you lay down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to continue the conversation about the Black Foundation and talk about the second part of our mission.
Great.
And I want to do that by asking you a question.
Okay.
When you hear the words affordable housing, what comes to mind?
A run-down apartment complex.
Okay, that's a good answer. What do you think when you hear affordable housing?
Most of the time, I think of like low-income housing tax credits.
Okay.
Government housing is what I think of.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the same.
it's not the same as what I mentioned, but you know, most of the time, if I'm thinking about housing that is affordable for a like low to middle income person, where there's such scarcity and problems now, I would actually not say affordable. I would say workforce housing.
Workforce. Okay.
Like, I would try to, because affordable tends to lean like, you might have Section 8 pop in your mind, which is sort of that government paying the rent kind of deal.
Right.
Or
HUD or some, and those generally are more run down, you know, lower income. And so it depends on what you're actually trying to communicate. But when I hear affordable housing, a lot of times I'm thinking LIHTC, low income housing tax credit. It's kind of the first thing that pops
run
up.
down, all that. So I'm glad y'all gave those answers. And that's something that at the Black Foundation, we're here to shift that viewpoint and that stigma of affordable, because when people hear affordable, they immediately think that rundown, Section 8, government funded, doesn't look nice, etc. Quite the contrary now. You know, when we look at affordable, it can mean the literal term affordable, attainable.
Yeah.
Right? Like, can you even afford it? And then sure, you can always have the government subsidizing.
I like the word attainable housing.
Yeah. Attainable.
Oh, that's good.
And that is a really big part of our mission, right? Is providing adequate housing in areas that have a need, and changing and shifting that stigma from rundown, no services, nothing nice, to actually having a community that takes care of itself, a community that can uplift each other. And to go on a quick side note, and it'll come back and all make sense. So one of the reasons why we chose to operate the Black Foundation the way that we do is because I was having a conversation, and this was the summer of 2020. So it was hot outside. You know what I mean by hot outside, right? And having a conversation around, you know, particularly my community and why people are stuck in a certain lane or stuck in a cycle or wherever level.
You're not talking about the heat. You're talking about like the environment was charged.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, that was the summer of COVID and Black Lives Matter, and there was all there was all kinds of just everything was
Sky
charged.
was falling every week.
Yeah,
That's what's going on, right? Yeah. So it's getting all those thoughts going. And, you know, really when I look at it, the issue is not so we look at different levels. So we've got, like always, top, middle, and bottom. And when we look at, okay, how do we help the bottom? It's not for lack of opportunity. It's not lack of resources. It's not a lack of that. It's a mindset issue.
Yeah.
And I know that because that's where I come from. And when we look at how do we help everybody, you have to look at everybody above them, because in our culture, it's like, oh, you're running. Why are you running? Because you were running, right? So it's like you have to make it look cool. So what we do is we focus on everybody at the top. Because if you pull on the top and give them the access, the knowledge, and the opportunity, they're already motivated and driven. They already want an avenue. They want a better life. They want to help their community. They just need that. So we give the top the opportunity. That pulls on the middle. That pulls on the bottom. And now you've actually created cultural change, generational change. It's more than a cause. It's a movement, right? And then you can really leverage that to empower everybody. So at the Black Foundation, we focus on providing those opportunities at the top. And also we still do partner and, provide grants, scholarships, our time to local nonprofits that support our diversity initiatives, which are at the bottom, right?
Sure.
And, a big partner for us right now is Stronger Than My Father. Shout out to Marcus Manise and Stronger Than My Father.
Shout out.
Stronger Than My Father.
I like that.
Check them out. They're
That's
awesome.
Interesting. Name.
Yeah. So what Marcus and them do is they focus on at-risk youth that do not have a father. And what I really like about their organization is that, they focus on leadership, mentorship, mindset. And most importantly is that the parent, the single mother, they have to be involved in the process. They have to be involved in the programming. So besides just helping the kid, they're helping the mom prepare for life and what that life looks like, being a single mother and them not having a father. So I say that to say is that at the Black Foundation, we're always about a hand up, not a handout.
Yeah.
And it's about, okay, how do we help others so then that they can take that and then pay that mission forward? So as an example, with our adult programs and anybody that does receive financial assistance from us, they're required to sign a philanthropic pledge. And what that pledge states is that they will impact 10 individuals in a certain period of time. Typically, it's going to be the time period that the financial assistance kicks in, or it could be within 12 months, 24 months, whatever it is, it depends. But odds are when you're making that type of impact, it's going to be a family of 4. So every single person that we can put through an assist, they're impacting 40 people. And it's not a simple impact of like, okay, I'm going to go and buy a couple meals for a family. It's no, they do, a 100-unit apartment deal. They go out and volunteer their time to then pay it forward, or they want to sponsor a grant or a scholarship or whatever that is. So it's making meaningful impact that we can measure, and then they can take that and then they can go back to their community and run the same play. Yeah. And really that's what this is all about, is putting together a playbook and a system that works, that we've proven. And then now we can go to everyone and say, hey, once again, want and need, who wants it, who needs it. And then now we can go in and we can help all these people.
Yeah.
That's really what the focus is.
I was going to ask you, you kind of just laid it out. I was going to ask you, like, how do you grow this thing? But before we circle back to that, you were just talking about mindset, and you understand that mindset because that's where you came from. Like that was your statement or some version of that. I don't know if I brought this up in a previous episode, but I was listening to a podcast, and the guest was a former bank robber. And so he was talking about how he did it, how he got into it.
Yeah.
But he talked a lot about how he thought about his life. And I'd never considered this. Kind of opened my eyes, because when we were growing up, when we looked around, here's what I saw. I saw both my grandparents lived into their upper 80s and into their 90s. They were married one time for well over 50 years. Mm-hmm. Our parents had a strong marriage. They've been married, 50 some odd years now. Mm-hmm. They lived long lives in committed relationships within strong families that loved each other and cared for each other. That's what normal looked like for me. Mm-hmm. And so when I was making decisions growing up, I was making them with a mindset of a long future. Mm-hmm. And what this bank robber was talking about, he's like, I didn't care because I wasn't going to live past 25.
Yeah,
I didn't believe I was going to. And so I didn't make decisions. I didn't factor in how it would impact my future. Mm. Is that a little bit of the mindset you're talking about? Like when you mentioned mindset, like mm-hmm. that's what it reminded me of what that guy was talking about. Yeah. I'd never considered, I've never thought once in my life that I wouldn't live to be a ripe old age. I understand that may not happen. Right. But like that was my expectation. That's what I saw around me. They were growing up, Right. And so I do expect to be into my 80s at some point. And that has factored into my decision making my entire life, just naturally. Yeah. And anyway, that's not the case for everyone.
And it boils down to 2 words: abundance and deficit. So for you, it's an abundant mindset, right? Because you have that vision. Everything has been modeled, right?
Yeah, and I didn't have to learn it. It was just in front of me,
Yeah. Exactly. And, the reality is that, What is it? The average human has 60,000 thoughts a day. 4 out of 5 of those are negative. So it's just like, how do you combat that? And that's just having the internal drive.
How many a day?
60,000 plus. So we can call it 60,000.
Yeah.
60,000 a day. 4 out of 5 of them are negative.
Whoa. Okay.
But back to Bo's point about, you know, the modeling and the abundance versus deficit is absolutely. So just like that bank robber, where if you're never told that you can do something, how are you going to be able to do it? If you are always thinking about where am I going to get my next meal? How am I going to get to work? Or, you know, grandma's sick again, or like whatever it is, and you don't have all of that, how do you shift that?
Yeah.
It's tough.
That's right.
It's tough, right? But you need access, knowledge, and opportunity.
That's right. That's what Stronger Than My Father. It's like, I love that.
Yeah, check them out. They're awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
StrongerThanMyFather.org.
Yes. StrongerThanMyFather.org.
What if you're a guy like me, or you've had success in the industry and you want to get involved from the providing education or being more of a mentor type, or you just love what you're doing and you've got access and opportunity in education, but you want to pay it forward? Like, how would somebody like that get involved in the Black Foundation?
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. And I would just say that's just volunteering your time as a subject matter expert. So, you know, like I said, we feature education. So, you know, like last week we did one at a college locally in Nashville, and I brought out 3 CCIMs. One was a broker, one was a developer, and one was a asset property manager. So coming out and just sharing your experiences and your knowledge with these kids or these adults. So yeah, it would absolutely be, you know, volunteering your time. You know, if you ever want to be so grateful and, you know, volunteer some resources, meaning funds, you know, sure, you know, we can look at that. You know, I think a difference for us though, as a private foundation, is here we're here to give first. And you know, our model is a little more unique, so we can jump to this because it kind of goes on the investment side, but on the, we'll call it mergers and acquisitions. So our different lanes for generating income are going to be, one, you know, our business activities. The second one is going to be donors, but those donors look different. It's not going to be not going to be cash donations. It's asset donations.
Oh, okay.
So people that really believe and, you know, want to get involved and see the longevity of it, they can donate their assets. And then, you know, from that too,
It'd be like buildings and.
yeah, it could be a building, it could be some stock, it could be some crypto, anything that's got value, preferably cash flow.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And that helps with the mission.
Yeah.
Having all of that as a model to then get people involved, because at the end of the day, what's important is do you understand us? Do you believe in us? And how do you want to help? And being somebody that's already had success in the industry and be willing to donate their time, come out, spread awareness, and really just bring awareness to what's going on. And the other good thing too is, look, like we built everything as a two-way street. So as an example, all our networking events and any events that we do, it's got the philanthropic component, but at the same time, we structure it so everybody can still get together and make money. Because at the end of the day, got to make money if we want to keep the lights on, people and profits. And then furthermore, as we get into that, we look at the education side. So as an example, you know, like let's pretend Bo wants to get involved and he comes out and talks to some college kids or some adults. He can go try to recruit them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
that's a great pool, because one, you've already got somebody that's motivated and driven. Two, you're a CCIM, so you've got a direct line for them. And then three, now you've got somebody that checks your boxes, and then you get free access to good candidates. So that's another example of us being a two-way street.
Yeah.
So it's just saying like, hey, you know, we're very grateful that you want to get involved and donate your time or really believe in us, etc. And then of course, what's in it for me besides goodwill? Well, shoot, you're in front of 10 college kids right here that are interested in commercial real estate, and they're in your backyard.
Right.
And we're not pretending, because I've told you that I'm willing to do that, right? And look, I'm going
pretend
next
Bo.
week. I'm going to University of Louisville to speak to their commercial real estate club, or I forget exactly what it's called. And you know, I do that because I want to see them get involved in the industry, and I want to see what the talent is in that room.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Do you
So-
talk about CCI when you're talking to these kids?
Well, they have been coming to our CCIM chapter meetings. Like, we know them because of it.
Okay,
So the
great.
guy that's asked me to come speak
Yeah.
was their president last year, and the president of the club is an ad hoc member of our board.
Oh, I love that. Okay, great.
So like that comes.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very connected with the Kentucky CCIM chapter.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep.
And that's something too, Timmy, when we talk about CCIM and the power of the pen and what's going on with the Global Institute right now. And we're at a very pivotal point, and Bo knows he's been around there longer than I have, but we're at that next generation.
Yeah.
So really CCIM has really turned a corner, and we're really focused on how do we find and source all these candidates. So more now than ever before, for those of you who are interested, go to ccim.com, check out the new offerings and see what we've got going on. I mean, look, we've got student memberships for the chapters. You know, we've got local scholarships. There's global scholarships. There's just a lot of opportunity. And once again, though, it's somebody that has to be motivated and driven, willing to put the work in. And once again, hand up, not a handout.
Sure.
And creating this next generation of commercial real estate leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to put a little bit more detail to this idea of the scholarships that are out there. At the Kentucky CCIM chapter, we give out 4 scholarships a year. They're between $1,000 and $1,500. So it basically pays for a CCIM course. All right. We didn't have anybody apply this time.
Wow.
We do it. We do 2 in the spring, 2 in the fall.
Okay.
I think we had, so like most chapters have at least 1, and most of them are like Kentucky and they have multiples. And we're often like really working to get people to actually just apply for the dang things. Like
Good.
the money is there.
Yes.
And then at the institute level, or at the foundation level, the CCIM Foundation, like, and I think you're a recipient.
Yeah.
But those are significant scholarships. Like the veteran scholarships we give pay for the entire coursework,
Wow.
which can be up to 15, 20 grand to
Wow.
include travel and the exam and stuff. I wasn't on the opportunity scholarship.
Opportunity is not
I think
as
it's a little bit
robust.
smaller, but it's bigger than like these 1,500.
Correct. Yeah, bigger than
dollar-
our local ones. Yeah.
So look, there's money there. If you care enough to find it and apply for it,
And further than the money is the people. And that was one thing that was big for me when I got into CCIM is, you know, everybody in CCIM wants to see you be successful.
They do.
They know how hard it is. They know what's on the other side of the pin. So it's now more than ever before, get involved with CCIM. I mean, I was lucky I met Bo early on, and, you know, I've had a lot of other people champion me through, right?
Yeah.
But that's there. And then, you know, when you look at the industry as a whole, I'll go ahead and say it, but not everybody wants to see you really achieve what your actual purpose is.
Yeah.
Because then they lose a worker.
Mm.
And we're not going to go there. But I say all that to say is the CCIM, as you launch your career and where you want to be, like that's where you should go.
Yeah.
Because that's if you put up the right, you know, you're putting up the numbers, you're a good person, you're executing excellence, you're doing what you need to do to be successful, and you're getting involved,
Yeah.
you're going to win.
It's true. As somebody who's never taken a CCIM class in my life, but has been to several CCIM events, the energy there and the people there, it is pretty phenomenal.
It's infectious. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's phenomenal to see. It's
it's
really
a world-class group of people.
It is.
Really is.
It is.
Yep.
Like the more I learned about, you know, we talked at the very beginning of the podcast when we were asking the question, why are you doing this? Why am I doing it? You know, I grew up and I knew Dad talked about CCIM when Dad came on, and he talked about how CCIM kind of changed his whole career and pivoted. Every single person that's been involved with CCIM that has come on and talked about it, like they all say the same thing about it. And so just from an outside eye and having the privilege to go to these forums, or not forums anymore. What are they called?
No.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
no, it is a forum now, not a governance.
They
meeting.
were the
Yeah,
governance meetings.
yeah.
Like, how exciting does
No,
that
I-
sound?
Yeah. Like I know they're really trying to reach that younger audience because they've brought me in to MC these. So
Yeah, that's right.
you don't see that many college students like around that age taking CCIM classes, right? It seems like it's mostly adults.
We're working on that.
But like,
And I can't
That's true,
divulge
right?
too much because I'm the vice chair of membership.
okay,
And, you know, there's really big, not pushed in a negative way, but more efforts behind our University Alliance program.
sure, yeah,
And you know what that can look like. It's as simple as offering a free chapter student membership, or, you know, going in and providing a Q&A panel or workshop, et cetera. And then we can go as far as dual enrollment credits. right? Finding a way to, as these kids are in college and then they're going to be transitioning out into the real world, how do they have that essentially, that rope to get to the front, or how do they have that exposure in order to make that happen? So, your University Alliance is definitely a big one.
Yeah.
I think the thing I see overarching in CCIM in general is reaching the right crowds that understand it and believe in it too.
Yeah.
And I just think that just shows, like you just said though, Timmy, is every person that's come on here that's a CSAM has talked about the benefits.
Right.
And really how it has been, and I'll say it for myself, is it's been life-changing, like night and day.
Yeah.
If you look at, besides just the notoriety, but the education, the technology, the networking, really all that packaged together, they're always innovating. They spend a lot of money on their proprietary education. Like there's just a lot. And sure, I sound like a poster child, but like it's been very beneficial from not only for myself, but for my family. And it's really led me to where I am now with the Black Foundation.
Yeah.
And, incorporating CCIM into our education and really leaning into that network. And, as far as goes to go back to the affordable housing piece, but, we're actively looking for deals right now to partner on people.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll partner with a for-profit developer. We'll profit with another nonprofit. Like we have no problem with that. And I think that that's something too, when you look at here in the marketplace in general, is whenever your people see something new, they see it as competition. And that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to compete. We're here to create, enhance, and connect. So once again, back to CCIM is really, how do we take all of that, package that into a, like I said at the beginning, a product, and then be able to bring that to the masses, build awareness. And look, as part of our mission too, minorities and veterans, due to my background. So it's, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but it's I've taken it on as my organization and myself. It's our duty to provide that opportunity to those who want to rise to the challenge. And when I do have conversations with veterans, commonly they don't have the access, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the opportunity. Furthermore, they're like, well, man, I don't know where to get funding from. I don't know where to get the external resources. Where could I get all that? And I mean, this because you're a veteran, but you get access to a lot of funds and money as a veteran. So it's like, how do we, once again, bring all that together, present that as something where people that want to rise to the challenge and step up and do it.
Yeah.
So it's really, once again, it's, how do we change the face of the industry? Here's a fact that I learned recently, is that less than 4% of commercial real estate practitioners are veterans, and veterans make up 13% in the population. Right. And then here's another one, is that less than 3% of, actually, you know what? I did that wrong. It was 4%. And then it's less than 6% in the population. So here's the flip side of that is,
Like you're saying, 4% of
less than
commercial
4%
real estate
industry.
practitioners are veterans.
Correct.
And 6% of the overall population are veterans.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the other side of that fact is less than 3% of the industry are Black commercial real estate practitioners.
Yeah.
And we make up 13% of the population.
Okay. When you say we,
Wow.
just for those who aren't watching us, you're Black. No, look, I mean, to state the obvious, but most of the people who consume, commercially speaking, like about 85% of them, it's audio.
Well, you know what?
So
I always watch on the.
That's
I watch
right.
it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Well, I like seeing everybody.
I do too.
That's right.
I do too.
Oh,
But,
we got lots of
but
people
let's,
that do. But
yeah, let's just not leave that one for people to infer, okay? It's not your hairline like we were talking about before.
It's not my hairline. And I forgot earlier when you said that. I was like, yeah, they can't see and they're listening.
that's right. That's right. And the majority of our listeners are listeners.
Yeah.
Right. So,
I want someone to fact check those numbers because I'm pretty sure those are right.
okay, great.
Yeah. And I actually
Somebody
do have
probably
it written down
will.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So good. Please put that in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it in the comments and share it with a friend. Yes, great, good. Where were we? Oh yeah, I was gonna say just going back real quick to like college, or awareness. There's veterans out there, or there's people. There's no one's applying for this money that's sitting there to help them, right? We're not seeing too many young college students at the moment. And I like a lot of what you're saying of kind of commercial real estate CCIM was never seems like a cool thing, right? And not that it needs to be a cool thing. It is cool. It's really cool.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay.
You're the
Bo's
cool.
always trying to downplay himself. Bo's
Yeah.
cool.
He's cool. He is. He's the coolest person in the world to me.
cool
He's
cat.
my older brother. Yeah.
He's the cool brother.
All right.
All right. Enough. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the whole awareness piece. It's just very interesting to me. It gets my wheels a turning of like, man, like how accessible this actually can be.
It is.
But it seems like it absolutely is not.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm totally behind that. I'm totally behind what you're doing.
There's a program in the military, I forget what it's called, maybe, something bridge, that allows service members who are getting out to actually start with a company like 6 months early.
Yeah.
And
it's
they
like bridge to, I don't know what it's called.
And they actually continue the benefit coverage that they have. It's a good deal helping people transition. And so for a company like mine, I would go on, and maybe we can find what this is and put it in the show notes, but I would go on and register my company as someone who's interested in that. I would register with that program, and then I would become an option for somebody getting out wanting to come work for Barron Commercial Group.
Yeah.
So if you're an employer, I would encourage you to do that. If you're interested in veterans, I was going somewhere else with that and I forgot. So
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yep.
We'll put it in the show notes. We got to wrap it up. Daynon Kirby, thank you so much, man. This is great. Pleasure to have you.
welcome back.
It was good to see y'all.
Welcome back. Where can they go again?
Yep. So go to theblackfoundationinc.com. You can go to just Google, type in the Black Foundation. You can go to LinkedIn. You can find us on LinkedIn as well. For anybody out there that, understands us, believes in us, and wants to get involved, would love to have a conversation. So whether that's, as simple as a subject matter expert volunteering your time, wanting to partner on a deal, or, you just want to learn more, would love to chat with you.
Yeah, don't forget about crypto. Bo. Bo, anything you want to leave? Anything you need to tell our listeners right now?
No, I think commercial real estate in general provides a ton of opportunities.
Yeah.
Most of it's driven by relationships. And what Daynon's doing through the Black Foundation is trying to build on-ramps into the industry for those who don't have those relationships.
Yeah.
And it's just not a natural path forward. And I love what he's doing. And as an industry, we have the ability to do a lot of good. And so I love when I see somebody like Daynon doing something like the Black Foundation. He's just trying to do good.
Right.
And yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I love that shit too. It's great. You can follow us on social media at Commercially Speaking, on X at ComSpeakPod, COM Speak Pod. We got a newsletter, WG is subscribe.wgbaron.com. And superpowershq.com/commercially speaking. Get your VA, that'll change your life. I think that's our subscribe, share. We love it. We love you. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Fun, bro.
Love you, brother.
Bye, Alice.
Bye, Alice.
Bye, Bridget.
Bye, Bridget.
Bye, y'all.
Pray for her.